Picture this. You walk into your parents' home and can barely navigate through the hallway. Every surface is covered with decades of memories, collections, and just-in-case items. The dining room table hasn't been used for dining in years because it's buried under paperwork and projects. Sound familiar? If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of stuff accumulated over a lifetime, you're not alone. According to recent studies, the average American home contains over 300,000 items. And for seniors who've lived in the same home for decades, that number can be even higher. But here's what most people get wrong about downsizing. It's not just about moving to a smaller house or getting rid of things. This video isn't just about decluttering. It's about creating a more comfortable, safer, and truly simpler living space for seniors, without sacrificing cherished memories. Today, we'll show you practical strategies to make their home work for them, not the other way around. Whether they're staying in their current home or considering a move, the principles we'll discuss will transform their daily living experience. Beyond less is more. Redefining downsizing. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. When most people hear downsizing, they immediately think of moving to a smaller house, selling the family home, or simply throwing away half of everything they own. But that's not what we're talking about here. True downsizing for seniors is about optimization, not just reduction. It's about creating a living environment that enhances daily life, promotes independence, and maintains dignity while reducing the physical and mental burden of managing too much stuff. Think of it this way. A professional chef doesn't need a kitchen filled with every gadget ever invented. They need the right tools, easily accessible, and a workspace that flows efficiently. The same principle applies to senior living spaces. The common misconception is that downsizing equals sacrifice. In reality, thoughtful downsizing often means gaining more of what truly matters. Easier maintenance, better accessibility, reduced stress, and more time to enjoy life's pleasures. Let's look beyond the obvious financial benefits, though those are certainly important. A smaller mortgage or rent payment, reduced utility costs, and lower maintenance expenses can free up resources for healthcare, travel, or family experiences. But the overlooked advantages are often more transformative. The emotional benefits. Reduced decision fatigue from managing fewer possessions. Less guilt about unused items taking up space. Increased sense of control over one's environment. More energy for relationships and activities that bring joy. The health and safety benefits. Fewer obstacles that could cause falls. Easier navigation for those with mobility challenges. Reduced dust and allergens from fewer items to collect them. Better organization leading to less stress when looking for important items. Here's the key insight. We're not just making spaces smaller. We're making them smarter and more comfortable. This reframe is crucial because it positions downsizing as an empowering choice rather than a loss or defeat. The psychology of letting go. Before we dive into the practical strategies, we need to address the emotional side of downsizing. For many seniors, their possessions aren't just objects. They're repositories of memories, symbols of achievement, and connections to loved ones who may no longer be with them. Understanding this emotional attachment is crucial for anyone helping a senior through the downsizing process, whether you're an adult child, a trusted friend, or the senior themselves. Common emotional barriers. First, there's the someday mentality. Someday I'll use this sewing machine again. Someday my grandchildren will want these books. Someday I'll have space for this furniture. The challenge is helping distinguish between realistic future needs and holding onto items out of guilt or fear of waste. Second, there's the sentimental value trap. Not every item with a story needs to be kept, but the stories themselves are precious. We'll discuss strategies for preserving memories without preserving every physical reminder. Third, there's the overwhelm factor. When faced with decades of accumulation, many seniors simply shut down. The task feels impossible, so they don't start at all. Strategies for emotional support. Start with validation. Acknowledge that these feelings are normal and reasonable. Don't dismiss the emotional significance of possessions, even if they seem unimportant to you. Use the honored memory approach. Instead of focusing on what's being removed, focus on how keeping select, meaningful items in prominent places honors the memory or relationship more than having dozens of items stored in boxes. Implement the story preservation method. Take photos of items while the senior tells their story. Create a digital scrapbook or written record. This way, the memory is preserved even if the physical item finds a new home. Consider the gifting while living concept. Rather than holding on to items for inheritance, encourage seniors to give meaningful pieces to family members now, when they can share the story and see the joy it brings. Remember, this process should never be rushed. Emotional processing takes time, and forcing quick decisions often leads to regret and resistance to future downsizing efforts. The room-by-room strategic approach. Now let's get practical. The key to successful downsizing is approaching it systematically, room by room, with clear criteria for decision-making. This prevents overwhelm and ensures nothing important is overlooked. Starting point. The vision exercise. Before touching a single item, spend time in each room asking, what is this room's primary purpose now, and what do I want it to be? A formal dining room that's become a storage area might be better served as a comfortable reading space or hobby area. The master bedroom. Creating a peaceful sanctuary. Start here because it's typically the most personal space and often has the clearest keep/donate decisions. Focus on creating clear pathways to the bathroom, especially important for nighttime navigation. Remove furniture that's rarely used, that exercise bike that's become a clothes hanger, the extra dresser that's mostly empty. For clothing, use the current lifestyle test. Keep items that fit the person's current life, not their past or hoped for future activities. A retired office worker probably doesn't need 20 business suits, but they might want to keep 2 for special occasions. Implement the 1-year rule for seasonal items. If something hasn't been worn in a full year cycle, it's likely safe to donate. The kitchen. Functionality over quantity. The kitchen often holds the most duplicates and just-in-case items. Start with an honest assessment of cooking habits. Someone who now prefers simple meals doesn't need service for 12 or specialized equipment for elaborate cooking projects. Keep one high-quality version of essential tools. One good knife, one cutting board, one set of measuring cups. Donate the multiples. Address the expired items issue. Many seniors hold on to spices, medications, and food items well past their useful life. This is both a safety and space issue. Consider accessibility improvements while decluttering. Move frequently used items to easy-reach locations. Store heavy items at waist level rather than high shelves. The living areas. Balancing comfort and safety. Focus on creating clear pathways and removing trip hazards. This might mean saying goodbye to decorative rugs, excess furniture, or low tables. Apply the active use principle. Furniture and decor should serve a current purpose, not just fill space. That formal living room set that no one sits on might be taking up space that could better serve daily activities. For books, implement a library rotation system. Keep favorite references and frequently revisited books, but consider donating novels that won't be reread. Many seniors find this easier when they know books are going to libraries or literacy programs. The basement, attic, and garage. The final frontiers. These spaces often hold the most challenging items because they're out of sight and filled with someday projects and inherited items from other family members. Use the box test for storage areas. If someone can't remember what's in a sealed box without opening it, the contents probably aren't essential. For hobby supplies, be realistic about current interests and physical capabilities. That woodworking shop might need to become storage for more manageable hobbies. Address inherited items with family input. Often, adult children have no idea these items are being kept for them, and would prefer their parents have more space. Documentation and important papers. This deserves special attention. Create a centralized filing system with clearly labeled categories. Medical records, financial documents, legal papers, insurance policies. Digitize when possible, but keep physical copies of essential documents. Many seniors find a simple accordion file more manageable than complex filing systems. Practical tools and techniques. Let's talk about the actual process of sorting and decision-making. Having the right tools and techniques makes this job much more manageable and less overwhelming. The 4-box method. This is your foundation system. Label 4 boxes or areas. Keep, staying in this room. Relocate, keeping but moving to different room. Donate/sell. Trash/recycle. Don't add more categories. It creates decision paralysis. If someone can't quickly decide which box an item belongs in, it probably goes in the donate pile. The touch once rule. When you pick up an item, make a decision about it immediately. Don't set it aside to decide later. That's how piles of undecided items accumulate and create overwhelm. Time boxing sessions. Work and focus 2 to 3 hour sessions with clear breaks. Longer sessions lead to decision fatigue and poor choices. End each session by properly sorting the boxes. Don't leave items sitting around. The replacement test. For items in questionable categories, ask, if I didn't own this and saw it in a store today, would I buy it? If the answer is no, it's probably time to let it go. Digital documentation. Take photos of items before donating them, especially those with sentimental value. Create a simple digital album with brief notes about the memories associated with each piece. This preserves the emotional connection without the physical storage burden. The helper system. If possible, work with a trusted friend or family member who can provide objective perspective. Choose someone who will respect the senior's autonomy while gently challenging questionable keeping decisions. Donation strategy. Research local organizations before starting. Know where books, clothing, furniture, and household items can go. Having specific destinations makes the letting go process easier. Consider specialized donations. Medical equipment can often go to organizations serving people with disabilities, craft supplies to schools or community centers, professional clothing to job training programs. The staging area. Designate one room or area as the staging ground for items leaving the house. This prevents second-guessing and reaccumulation. Once items are in the staging area, they don't return to the house. Timing considerations. Don't try to tackle everything at once. A realistic timeline might be: Month 1. 1 major room plus paper organization. Month 2. 2 secondary rooms. Month 3. Storage areas and final decisions. Month 4. Implementation of new organizational systems. Safety considerations. Always prioritize safety during the process. Have step stools available for high shelves, wear appropriate footwear, and don't attempt to move heavy items alone. Consider hiring professionals for large furniture removal. Creating functional, beautiful spaces. Now for the exciting part. Transforming the decluttered spaces into functional, beautiful environments that truly support the senior's current lifestyle and needs. Universal design principles. Even if major renovations aren't in the budget, simple changes can make dramatic improvements in accessibility and comfort. Lighting is crucial and often overlooked. Add table lamps and under-cabinet lighting to reduce shadows and strain. Replace dim overhead fixtures with brighter, warmer LED options. Create clear sightlines throughout the home. Remove or relocate furniture that blocks views from room to room. This helps with navigation and creates a more open, connected feeling. Consider the aging-in-place modifications that don't scream senior home. Grab bars that look like towel bars, shower seats that fold away, lever door handles instead of knobs. Furniture arrangement for flow. With fewer pieces, furniture arrangement becomes even more important. Create conversation areas that don't require shouting across large rooms. Ensure pathways are at least 36 inches wide for easy navigation. Position frequently used items within the comfort zone, roughly between hip and shoulder height when standing, easily reachable when seated. Storage solutions that work. Invest in storage solutions that are both functional and attractive. Clear containers let you see contents without labels. Drawer organizers keep small items from becoming jumbled messes. Use vertical space wisely with wall-mounted shelves and hooks, but keep frequently used items at accessible heights. Creating memory displays. With fewer possessions overall, The items you keep can be displayed more prominently and meaningfully. Create dedicated spaces for photographs, collections, or artwork rather than having them compete for attention with clutter. Consider rotating displays. Keep some special items stored safely and swap them out seasonally. This keeps the visual environment fresh while preserving more memories. Technology integration. Simple technology additions can significantly improve daily life. Smart home devices can control lighting and temperature with voice commands. Medical alert systems provide peace of mind. Simplified remote controls reduce frustration with entertainment systems. Maintenance simplification. Choose furnishings and decor that are easy to clean and maintain. Hardwood or luxury vinyl flooring instead of carpets, machine-washable throw rugs instead of large area rugs, furniture with smooth surfaces instead of intricate details that collect dust. Creating activity zones. Designate specific areas for different activities. A comfortable reading corner with good lighting and a side table for beverages, a puzzle or game table, a space for video calls with family. This zoning approach helps maintain organization and ensures each activity has the tools and space it needs. Color and mood. Don't underestimate the psychological impact of color choices. Warm, welcoming colors can make spaces feel more inviting. Good contrast helps with visual distinction. Important for seniors with changing eyesight. Consider repainting walls in lighter colors to make spaces feel larger and brighter, especially if you've removed window-blocking furniture or heavy draperies. Maintaining the simplified lifestyle. Creating a simplified space is one thing. Maintaining it is another. Let's discuss strategies for keeping the home organized and preventing reaccumulation without making it feel restrictive or joyless. The one-in, one-out rule. This is the foundation of maintenance. When something new comes into the home, something else should leave. This doesn't have to be rigid. Seasonal clothing swaps don't count, but it prevents gradual reaccumulation of unnecessary items. Regular review sessions. Schedule quarterly mini-purges, much less intensive than the initial downsizing, but regular enough to catch accumulation before it becomes overwhelming. These might take just an hour or two and focus on obvious items like expired medications, outdated paperwork, or clothing that no longer fits. The gift management strategy. Well-meaning family members and friends often give gifts that don't align with the simplified lifestyle. Develop polite strategies for managing this. Suggest experiences instead of objects, create wish lists of truly needed items, or establish gift-giving guidelines for holidays. Subscription and service audits. Regularly review magazine subscriptions, streaming services, and other recurring deliveries. Cancel those that aren't actively used or enjoyed. This reduces both physical and mental clutter. The helper network. Maintain relationships with people who can provide objective input when decision-making becomes difficult. This might be adult children, close friends, or professional organizers who can provide periodic check-ins. Documentation systems. Keep the simplified filing and organization systems current. Set monthly dates for filing new paperwork, updating important documents, and clearing out temporary storage areas. Shopping strategies. Develop new shopping habits that support the simplified lifestyle. Make lists and stick to them. Avoid bulk buying unless there's adequate storage and real need. Consider before buying, where will this go? And what will I get rid of to make room? Shop with specific purposes rather than browsing for entertainment. Emergency preparedness. Maintain reasonable emergency supplies without hoarding. A simplified approach to emergency preparedness focuses on essential medications, important documents, and basic supplies rather than extensive stockpiling. Health and safety monitoring. With clearer, more organized spaces, it becomes easier to notice changes that might indicate health or safety concerns. Clear pathways make fall risks more obvious. Organized medication storage makes missed doses more apparent. Celebrating success. Acknowledge and celebrate the benefits of the simplified lifestyle. Notice reduced cleaning time, easier navigation, lower stress levels, and more time for enjoyable activities. This positive reinforcement helps maintain motivation for keeping spaces organized. Planning for future changes. Recognize that needs will continue to evolve. What works now might need adjustment as mobility, health, or interests change. Build flexibility into organizational systems and be prepared to make further modifications as needed. Embracing a thoughtful approach. As we wrap up our exploration of creating simpler senior homes, let's remember what we've really been discussing. Not just getting rid of stuff, but creating spaces that truly serve the people who live in them. The goal was never minimalism for its own sake, or creating spaces that feel empty or impersonal. Instead, we've been talking about intentional living, making conscious choices about what to keep, what to let go, and how to arrange the remaining items to support independence, safety, and joy. Every senior situation is unique. Some will find freedom in dramatic downsizing, while others will prefer subtle modifications that simply make their current space work better. Both approaches are valid when they're chosen thoughtfully and implemented with respect for the individual's preferences and capabilities. Remember that this process doesn't have to happen overnight, and it doesn't have to happen alone. Whether you're a senior considering these changes for yourself, or an adult child helping aging parents, the key is communication, patience, and respect for the emotional significance of this transition. The simplified senior home we've discussed isn't about having less. It's about having what's right. It's about creating spaces that enhance daily life rather than complicate it, that feel like home rather than storage units, and that support the activities and relationships that bring meaning and joy. Most importantly, remember that downsizing and simplifying are not admissions of defeat or signs of decline. They're proactive choices that can improve quality of life, reduce stress, and create more opportunities for the experiences that truly matter. If you're ready to begin this journey, start small. Choose one drawer, one closet, or one corner of one room. Experience the satisfaction of creating a more functional space, and let that success motivate the next step. Your future self, whether that's you in 5 years or you tomorrow morning looking for your reading glasses, will thank you for the thoughtful effort you put into creating a home that truly works for the life you're living now. The simplified senior home isn't just about the space. It's about creating the foundation for a more intentional, comfortable, and joyful chapter of life.